need some competition out here. Come on.
The other they have to do that. Our people don't. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What up, man? We in the building for yet another episode and another critical annihilation
Here we go.
of somebody. We gotta talk about this, Sam, and we ain't gonna waste no time
Let's do it.
getting into the Kanye West DL Hughley controversy. Now, it went down, man. Obviously, yesterday spilling into today, where DL Hughley was pretty much critical of Kanye West's children, Kim K. Kanye West fired back at him yesterday, insinuated that he could hurt him, he knows where he lives, all this type of shit like that. It had the internet going crazy. Twitter was going crazy, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everything. Everybody was talking about this yesterday. I'm going to let you go in first, though, because I know how much you love DL Hughley. I know how much you champion, his campaign when he was, champion the Democrats, wanted the Joe Biden in offices, and he was criticizing all these different people. What did you think when you seen DL Hughley attack Kanye's kids, Kim K, and now get the backlash? And then he dissed Kanye after that, pretty much saying, like, you better go take a Xanax or some shit like that.
You know, it's funny that you brought up the Democratic Party because I think that's the very reason why he started throwing jabs to begin with. Because he has his fist so far up the Democratic Party's ass. I don't know if he knows the difference. And we obviously know Kanye West's support of Trump. You know what I mean? Unwavering support of Trump during that whole election. And then he eventually went on to do his own thing. And people were calling him crazy then. Now, does DL maybe believe in his heart that that man was stalking when he was doing what he's doing? Maybe, maybe not. But it's funny how motherfuckers get on that platform and start talking like gossiping bitches. You know what I mean? And letting all the air just hang out and just talk about any old thing. Because, yes, we could talk about Kanye the rapper. Yes, we could talk about Kanye's erratic behavior. And do I agree with Kanye putting his children on the internet and talking? Nah, I don't. But I don't know Kanye's motives. I don't know the strength on where he's going and why he's going there. His children are obviously in the public light to begin with because of their parents. So maybe he feels like this is the only way. That's not the route I would go as a parent, but I'm not him. So I'm not going to tell him what to do as a parent. But for people to have opinions and over opinions and be able to run their mouth the way they do and be able to steer narratives is real corny and it's divisive. And for somebody to say they're so pro-black and with the black people the way a DL says he does or portrays to be, he does some real fuck shit on the side. And this is one of them. I did not like it. I did not rock with it. And do I agree with Kanye West putting his address out there? Nah, that's childish. Do that shit behind the scenes, Kanye. I don't know what he's on with that shit. But do I agree with what he said and what Wack 100 said? Maybe to the Illuminati degree, maybe not. No, I don't know. I ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. But I do think he's on some fuck shit, and I did not agree.
Yeah, you know what, man? We come from the era of 3 strikes and you're out. Let's look at DL Hughley real quick, right? Because it's funny how he has a lot of stuff to say about other black men, right? And I'm gonna get to that last, but let's start off with back in like 2019. Ice Cube was trying to do his thing, put his plan and thing on the table, all of that. Just trying to do proactive stuff, not be a politician, but you could tell Ice Cube loves his community. Yep. DL Hughley shared an article pretty much, of somebody critical of Ice Cube at that time, right? Ice Cube, throw up the middle finger to emoji to him. Kanye West, let's talk about Kanye West. He goes on to a platform, talks about Kanye West, destroys him, make him look like he belittles him in front of the whole world, right? Then strike 3, right? We see the situation with Minister Louis Farrakhan. I got to bring this up, right? And it's funny how that went down. Nori came out, Lord Jamar, Godfrey. They took a stand. Now, me, him, I'm not a Muslim.
Nope.
I don't necessarily follow everything that Minister Louis Farrakhan says. I just don't. Do I agree with some of it? Yes. I can sit up here and say yes. Some of it I don't agree with. But I knew that it was time to take a stand, though. Like, if you see your brothers going one way, like, your brothers don't like him, I don't like him. Period. The stand was made. But notice how DL Hughley didn't have anything to say about that at all. Nothing. He sat, he went over there, he continues to go on that very platform, and everybody knows the platform, right? Vlad TV. He goes on that platform and steady criticizes black people all day long, bro. But then you got nothing to say against the man that disrespected another black man that you already know his track record of helping. As controversial as Minister Louis Farrakhan is, the Nation of Islam is on point. Schools, teaching, how to eat. All the brothers that I know that come from there is entrepreneurs, smart, sharp, family men, stand-up individuals, man, period. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, we can go all the way down the line. Dr. Nori Muhammad, Reza Islam, stand-up dude. Ben, what's his Ben? Brother Ben, Brother Ben X. And then a whole laundry list of people that I've dealt with over the years have been stand-up, brother. Not perfect, but stand-up individuals, and they've been men of their word, at least to us. So when I see DL Hughley do this, it's clear and it's apparent that he is in the pocket, like you said, of the Democrat. He's taking payoffs. Remember around election time, and this will be officially strike 3. Election time, he's going in. He's, he's tweeting all the stuff about Biden, how we should go with Biden. All this Biden stuff. But now he's quiet. You don't hear him criticizing Democrat. You don't hear him criticizing. And I'm not a Democrat, Republican dude or none of that. Right. So I don't think I'm on the Republican side or nothing like that. But you don't hear him criticizing them at all. You know why? Because most likely, and I don't know this for sure, but he took a payoff to endorse. We talked to Dr. Boyce Walker. We talked to many people who admitted, like, all right, both parties, not just Democrats, right. Republicans too, pay celebrities. They pay influencers to push out their agenda to try to get the vote. It's a smart thing to do. What do you think they're getting all this campaign money for? It's for marketing, to put stuff on TV. But another form of that is going through the celebrities, going through the actors. And like I said yesterday, it's a shame, man, that in particular in the black community, we look up to people like comedians and rappers and things like that as leaders, as opposed to real leaders in the community, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, teachers. We look up to comedians and shit. Yep. So that's why, to me, and I'll let you go in after this, man. It's ironically, it's a comedian, right? That is talking for us. Like, not that a comedian couldn't say some good things, but I don't want no comedian talking for us. I don't want no rapper really talking for us unless they come in with the right. It's almost like putting Cardi B. DL Hughley and Cardi B speak for black people. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I love how you put 3 strikes, right? Because it's almost like we gave them 3 chances. And it's not like not all black people have to think alike and move alike, right? But it should be some type of balance. If you ultimately care, then when you see right, you speak right. When you see wrong, you speak wrong, right? It shouldn't be imbalanced, right? And giving somebody a chance is what we did, because I didn't jump off the gate and start not liking DL's platform and DL's stance. When I first saw the dude on Fresh Prince, when Fresh Prince was trying to be a comedian and he jumped on stage and he did his comic thing, I thought dude was dope. Then when I seen him do his own show, I thought he was dope. Then started seeing him on different comedy outlets. I think he was on Def Comedy Jam. Matter of fact, I know he was. And then I think he did Comic View. And then eventually had his show. It's rooting for DL. DL was dope when he did Kings of Comedy. Dope. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, I guess, the emergence of social media when you began to see certain things, and I guess around the Obama era, and everything was cool because we were drinking the Kool-Aid of Obama too when we first seen that brother going out there and almost becoming the first black president. So almost validating what we were thinking in our ideals at that moment in time. DL was dope. But as we broke it down and as we started seeing mistakes being made by even our president, Barack Obama, and we seeing one side get played still, it's like, all right, maybe he's just vouching for the brother. Okay, cool. You start watching, you start paying attention, you start seeing, and then you start looking and breaking down the nuances of what's real. And what's real is shit ain't really what it is. And it's like, damn.
Right.
It hurts at first. Then you pay attention and you pay attention. It only hurts because you want the brother to succeed and you want him to be like you. Don't hurt because nobody idolizes, because I know people love to write that shit. But you look at it and it's like, damn, dude ain't really who he is. Damn, dude's really exposing who he is. damn, it's time for us to call out the bullshit that we see.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. That's what the platforms like this is about. It's to give your opinion on people, but not only give your opinion, it's to put up what happened. Like, we can see what happened when he makes a statement, when he says stuff that's now documented as DL actually going this way or favoring this person over this person. And I think, and I get it, they get into these positions and whatnot, and it's a lot of pressure on them. But if you're not gonna, say the right thing, don't say anything at all, because you're not representing us in the best way when you do that. But let's talk about Kanye West too, because I know a lot of people are like, I ain't talking about Kanye at all.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and it's like, with Kanye, I don't agree with. It's never been a man, right, or a woman that I agree with everything about him. How much I like him. You're always gonna have disagreements. So let's put that out there first. But for principle, I'm standing with Kanye on this, principle wise. Now, we're not getting into, the whole Pete thing and all this about, how Charlamagne and Envy got into the penis size and all that. We don't do that type of stuff over here. We talk about grown man topics like grown men. You know what I mean? But Kanye is just, I respect him a lot. I respect his genius a lot, but I don't agree. I don't agree with him, the way that he handled the situation. But that's Kanye West.
Yeah, in a nutshell. And I don't agree with how he's doing it either. But for you to get on platforms and say things that you say, you can express your opinion.
Right.
But to call him a stalker, let's break that down. You could say he's a nut, he's a fool, all this stuff, and he can agree to disagree, and we may come on here and say what we say, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't be this the way we giving it right now. You call that man a stalker of his kids. We don't know the exact situations that's going on. Yeah, he bought the house. We looking at social media, and we looking at shade rooms and Hollywood Unlocked, just like you motherfuckers are. Let's not play around like we know something more than somebody else. Yeah, you may know the ins and outs of what's going on in Hollywood, but you found out about that house shit because of everybody, the same way everybody else did. Mm-hmm. And that's the frustrating part, that people see these narratives and then go and say, well, this person's this and this person's that.
Right.
We ain't commented on Kanye and Kim's situation because that ain't our effing business.
Right.
What they going through, even though they're doing it out publicly, then we don't touch that. Them kids, we don't touch that. When people start playing around in other people's lives, which like social media has allowed people to do, that's when shit starts getting messy. We got to call it out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree, man. And like you said, it's too easy. Like, it's too easy to call out the bullshit, when you see it over here. And that's how we're going to do it, man. It was something that we wanted to talk about, but and we ain't saying we're going to throw DL away. I think he can still be beneficial. Certain things, comedy specials and things like that.
I still watch him.
Hosting a show. He can give us a good laugh. But when you're talking about things that have to do with politics and things, and he's not always wrong. Let me get you right. Let me correct that, because some things he speaks on, he's 100%. I just can't find none. When it deals with the black community and things going on, I just say.
You know what the thing is? And we're not sitting here acting like that brother's not intelligent, like he doesn't know what he's talking about, like he's not articulate. It's just the narrative that's very divisive, because you do know what you're talking about. You do know how to articulate yourself to where people will listen. And you know how to feed certain seeds in people's head. And you do it very well. And it's like, okay, you do it, but why not have any balance to it? It seems real imbalanced toward one side.